Back to another episode of the SDWT Tactics Podcast. Today is once again a bit of an architectural day. Today we're gonna model something in Blender. For what reason and why? This might really tie into something that I have been talking about before. Efficiency, being faster, and probably also doing things that actually do matter, and trying to combine certain things so that you are faster, more efficient, and things are easier, I would say. So I do not necessarily have to do this task, but I have been working on a model for a semester now, quite so half a year basically, and I think I can still improve it and add something to it, make it a bit more interesting in certain fields, even though I kind of believe that well, contrast is a thing. So having a model full of very tiny details may actually be too much, as it is with life. Basically, you have to have contrast, you have to have rest to be able to work a lot, and you have to, I think, work a lot to enjoy resting a lot. At least this is how I'm working. And so I believe in an aesthetical sense in contrast. I'm still, it is still a thing whether there is big details and or very small details. Of course, when I'm having very small details, it might on one hand lead to this being an object or part of the whole thing, part of the whole model that really does not fit into it, because it is too much, and because maybe I've been looking too closely at it. I've been this is certainly something that I am fearing with what I'm gonna do today. But on the other hand, it can also definitely be the case that this amount of detail, or these details that we're going to add today, that you're not really going to be able to see them from afar. You notice them by change of lighting, highlights and shadows. But it might actually not be the case that it is disturbing the view, that it is kind of not fitting anymore. We're gonna see. Of course, it is a bit of a thing if you're adding, or if you're changing something of a model, or changing just a part of the model without seeing the model. So yeah, we're gonna see, I think, what things are gonna be like. Right. I don't think that you need to see that. I'm gonna be in the middle, which is fine. Maybe it's gonna be like this. Yeah. A bit of a problem here is definitely the material that we're having here. I am not gonna change it though, because this is the original material, and I just really want to keep it like this, and try to let it be what it is. Let's see. There's definitely something we can add here, and another part that I wanna change here is certain bits that are quite unnecessary, and I do not need the camera here. Certain bits of it are just really unnecessary and do not add anything to it. So we might actually just get rid of this. Might actually have to do it like this to get all of them. There we go. Because it's quite unnecessary, and it might actually do a bit of a trick, as well as this part here. Even though we could also say like, okay, let's choose this one and bring it up to there or something. I believe that there is some snapping shit edge. Let's maybe try this. Right. And this one too. Can I also choose multiple ones? Vertex. There we go. This I don't even know if you can see this then. but it might definitely add a bit of sensicality. Things also should make a bit of sense from time to time. Just trying to see if there is another one. Well, there's the other part here. I'm gonna quickly edit there, and now it is fine. There is a line. I don't really think we need it. We might actually be adding certain more lines here, or we might distort it a bit more in maybe not necessarily this way, I think, but if there is a tiny one, there we go. It certainly is not gonna make the mesh more beautiful, but might do something. One might be able to see that, and it's like, okay, interesting. There was some thought behind that. We might make both of them smaller though, or at least, if I can, I don't know if I can insert a vertex there, but I could do that. I don't know if this makes sense. We could get into the rendered view once and see what things look like. We might actually be working like this. Kind of makes a bit more sense. And get rid of this view again. And we are also gonna choose this one there, right? And add it to here maybe. I don't really know. We could also definitely delete it, but as I said, maybe one sees it then. It's not particularly beautiful, but I'm also not necessarily trying to do things or make things. I mean, this is definitely something nobody's gonna see. Something that I want to add though is a cylindric thing. And I wanna have it like this, somewhat like that in the middle here. Once like this and once like that. And we are gonna make it a tiny bit bigger and see if it already fits like this. Actually, really wonderfully. There we go. Apparently those two things seem not to be well aligned, because this is not in the middle. I think that I indeed want to have it in the middle. Can't I select this shit anymore? Or is it now what it is? Might be the case. Might actually be the case now. We can also just, twist it and do it like this, even though that's kind of ugly. I don't really know if I can change something about it now. But we might do it like that at least. Which is fine. Just, adding a few details to the whole thing. I might actually then have a look at the original model and see if it makes sense, if it is a good thing, if it is a bad thing, if it is whatever. I do not know if one can see the feet there, but we might add some. And I guess that I am not gonna do this anymore in edit mode, because I can in the end just add and delete them anyway. There we go. We might actually switch to this view again. Okay, now it's a bit disturbing here. There we go. We're gonna add some tiny little feeds to it. Just some really tiny ones. Let's see if this makes sense from this view, and does it make sense from that view? Yes, it does. Wonderful. Let's copy it. Doesn't necessarily have to be aligned 100%. Just fine. And this one, this should be the last one, I guess. I would assume. There we go. We might even add even a bit of more detail to that. Maybe in we could do something like this. We could definitely do that. But I guess before we are indeed gonna join them, so that then it's gonna be a bit easier for us. We could also group them, but I think it's fine. I think it's fine. So we're gonna have a bit of randomness there. Where I actually really hope that it's gonna turn out quite good. Doesn't have to be just, you know, perfect or whatever, but somewhat good. Right, there we go. I think it's just, you know, really about adding those really small things. What I do not necessarily like is the thing that we've added here in the middle. I might actually delete bits of it. I might just delete faces. Can I actually see that? I don't know if I can even see that. But it is definitely doing something. I think it is doing something. So it's fine. It's fine. And we might actually do this here. Having a bit of a connection part, because at this point it is somewhat floating, and it is also not 100% aligned. I don't necessarily think that this is a problem. And we are just gonna I think we're indeed gonna do it like this. I don't know, maybe I'm gonna play with the colors there. I would have to see what things look like then. We might actually also add them here in the middle. And I think this is kind of the beauty about it, having one object and you know, kind of making it in somewhat of a modular way, and then using it all over the place, and you know, trying to make something cool out of it, and trying to, you know, just use this one pattern and, you know, over and over and over again, and you know, make it cool, make it great. We could definitely also, I don't know if this is gonna do any good to the model, but we could do it like this. We might, I mean, what would be wonderful is having it, I mean, we could also offset it a bit. Is this good? I don't really think so. You know, maybe maybe making it bigger and then just trying to somewhat align it again. No, that's definitely not something I really want to have. But maybe copying it, making it kind of big there, somewhere like this, making all of them to a wireframe and setting quite a big. I don't know if this is gonna look quite heavy. Could indeed be the case, and therefore we could also move them a bit down, or just actually to the very bottom there, trying to somewhat align them there. Something like this, maybe. Maybe actually not that tall though. You know, and something that I've recognized over the years, actually, I think last year especially, a ton of things that are related to design. Let's actually save that shit. Very important. A lot of things that are design related can also be applied to life. Contrast, balance, contrast, balance, and all those subsections of contrast. Color contrast, black and white, or darkness and light, shadows and light. Yeah, and a few more things. I've actually uploaded a few podcast episodes kind of around that. Is this actually doing something? And we might also do that shit here. I don't know if we can rotate. Okay. We definitely cannot rotate them. But we could flip them. Is the flip thing mirror? We're just gonna leave it at them, or we're gonna do a sneaky thing, set origin to cursor, and then we're gonna rotate them for 90 degrees, somewhat like this, and then align them again, somewhat aligning them. And I think it is quite fine, so that we're having once again a bit of contrast there. I have already aligned this up a bit there. It was kind of, it still is kind of offset. I don't know if it is upset, but it is definitely up. Nope, definitely not that one. Set origin, geometry to origin, origin to geometry. I really hope that this is not gonna fuck up anything in the original file. I'm just seeing some parenting shit there. For whatever reason, I don't really know why this is the case. But yeah, now it is nicely aligned. I don't know about the middle things there, to be honest. And these should be a bit to the right. I don't know about the middle bits. We might actually get rid of the middle bits. Yeah. I did not really like those middle bits. We might take those two. Okay. Okay. set origin origin to geometry. There we go. Then we go into this mode and that mode, and then we can do something with them. Adding just a few more things in here. A few more tiny details. Actually leave it like this. Might actually also really break the geometry there. But it's fine. It's what it is. It just is what it is. Would actually be interesting now to know what is the front and what is the side. But it's gonna be fine, I think. I hope. Okay, now I see the issue. Now I see the issue. But we can still move them a bit like this, like that, and whatever. There might actually also be some scripts I could be using, especially in Houdini, where I just say, okay, use the faces, maybe even these particular faces, and I don't know, do something with them. One might do that. But yeah, doesn't necessarily have to be the case. Great. Didn't do anything with it now. Maybe something like this. Of course, adding those details by hand can also, and I'm just kind of fearing that this is going to be the case, fuck the whole model in terms of it is notable when one has changed some bits by hand, I would say, especially when you're leaving things out. There we go. But especially those very technical things, those very technical parts here. But I think it's gonna be fine. Or I also at least hope that it's gonna be fine. Just want to have a few more elements, a few more things. I might actually also extrude that one out here, as well as these. Also extrude them out, and this one maybe inwards, or maybe also not. So I don't know if it's gonna do any good to the geometry there. Obviously we could actually also, but I don't know if this is a good idea. We could also randomly check deselect every nth element starting from the active vertex. That's actually a pretty cool thing. Select similar, select all by trait, select more or less, select loops, select linked side of active. We could select randomly, decrease the ratio there, then extrude it, scale it, and then maybe extrude it again and scale it again, and then face, maybe extrude individual faces. I don't know if this is a good idea, but it might actually be quite interesting, to be honest. You know, having those little tiny fucked up bits there. Or we gonna extrude faces along normals. Did I do the along normals? No. Or along normals might probably be a better idea. As I said, I don't really know if this is gonna be worth it. I mean, since this one is already quite fucked up, I don't think that, you know, fucking up this one purposefully is that of a bad idea, especially because I think it looks quite nice. We could actually also do it with this shit. But we're gonna subdivide it once. Then we're gonna select random, and then we're gonna extrude along normals. And then we have something like this. Probably nobody's gonna see it, but that's fine, at least with me. I am planning to leave this one as it is, or maybe also edit this one as it is. Oops. We could actually check that out. Let's subdivide it, I guess. Then once again select random. We might actually also extrude faces along normal, but just a little tiny bit. Just a little tiny bit. Just a little tiny bit. I don't know if this is gonna be too much. I'm just thinking about the model. I am just thinking about the model. Might actually be doing this might actually be too much. But what we could be doing is selecting these few and extruding them out so that they somewhat align or stand out a bit. So that they kind of do something. As well as maybe these few. Maybe even quite a bit. Maybe even quite a bit. Just those very tiny details that, you know, might actually do a bit of a trick there. Also doing it inwards a bit. I really hope that this is a good side there. We're gonna see, or I'm at least gonna see. We might also select random, but having a bit of a bigger random seed. Select, deselect. Maybe have a bigger amount of things. No, and we're gonna once again extrude, maybe also extrude individual faces. Maybe even inwards. Well, this is definitely fucking up the geometry quite a bit. But I might like it. I might like it. It might be a bit too detailed there. I don't know. it might be a bit too detailed. Those extrusions are still there, right? Maybe it's about random selecting, just, really a tiny amount, 0.1, for example. Is the recording actually fine? Yes, the recording is fine. 0.01 maybe. These are just really a few, and we might extrude those individual faces. Like this. I don't know if it did good to this thing. Okay, there we go. There we go. But I think it's cool. I mean, when you're looking closely, you're gonna see the changes. But yeah. For this one, there we could actually also, change the inner ones, so that we're once again having a bit of contrast. We're having a bit of differentiation there. Let's once again select random, but a bit more. Yes, and we're gonna extrude along faces, extrude faces along normal. Yeah, that's amazing, right? We might actually also leave it at this. Yeah. I think that might be cool. And then just adding a bit of depth there, maybe. There we go. Also here and here. And then I think we should be fine. Also this one probably. Here we go. And now we have added a bit of details here. Not that many new objects, even though we could, as I'm seeing it right now, also add these two up there. Might look gorgeous. Might also look just really shitty. We're gonna have a look. I think it's fine. I think it's quite good. Even though we might there add the wireframe again. And say okay, and deform it maybe, and taper it in the Z axis while having object set origin to 3D cursor. Does this do any good to it? I don't know if this wouldn't be not interesting. What is happening there? Okay, object set origin to geometry and then get rid of this again. Oh, set origin to geometry. There we go. This should be a better idea, because when we're tapering it in the Z axis, we are getting somewhat of a fucked up thing there. I want it to be like a bit more conish. But I don't really know. Oh, tapering it. There we go. There we go. We should probably also solidify it a tiny bit. And maybe also scale them so that they align wonderfully there and kind of add once again something there. We might indeed also add a tiny bit of a connection here. Maybe in the form of we could, yeah, definitely. Such a big ball. We could add a ball there. We could definitely add a ball there. So here we go, and here we go again. Is this cool? I don't know if it is, but I think we're gonna do it. But we could actually, nope. We could actually, I mean, if it is touching it slightly, I don't know if this is gonna be enough, but we could, set origin. I would like the, I would like to have the 3D cursor. Anyway, I think we're just gonna deform it in some way. Simple deform, we're gonna taper it, probably in the Z axis in some cute way. There we go. Is this cute? I don't know. We might make a wireframe out of it, and then everything is great. But also like this, I mean, this could not look too bad. We might also just, leave it at this. But no, let's just wireframe it. Let's wireframe it, and everything is good, as well as copying it, then joining it, and then once again copying it, and once again joining it. Might be a bit unnecessary because of reasons. We might actually also do it in the inside there. Yeah. And add a bit more thickness. I want them to be a bit thicker. Looks good. Looks good. And I'm excited to see what it is gonna look like in the model. What we might also do here is I would actually like to try that. We're gonna randomly select some things. Select random. And we are gonna make a vertex group here. And then we are gonna create this wireframe shit, but we're gonna add it to the vertex group. And I do not even know if oh, I don't know if anything has changed there. Besides everything being rather broken. La-di-la-di-dee, la-di-la-di-da. This is one full thing, right? Is this one extra there? No, but there's parts of it extra. And there is parts of it extra. I actually would have liked what kind. Ooh, it doesn't really like that. I don't know what this does. I really don't know. But I do not want so much in this vertex group, so we are gonna deselect, select, remove. And then we're gonna select random, 0.1 maybe. Yeah. And then see what it does. I have a feeling that it is still doing it to the whole group. Ah. There we not go. But I don't really understand vertex group. Or is this something else? Factor 1? Maybe? Factor 1 does not do anything too good here. Relative. We could also definitely not replace this whole thing. But add 0.5. It's probably gonna not look good. And also let's get rid of the relative maybe. Oh yeah, that's amazing. That's really nice. Wonderful. I think we're just gonna leave it at this stage. You know, it might be useful to have this bit of non shit there. And I'm gonna see you next time.